So here's the issue that Paul addresses. What's going to become of this nation that crucified their Messiah? I mean, the Messiah was the one that was supposed to overthrow the Romans, reestablish the Davidic rule, get Israel back to a position of prominence, unite the 12 tribes under one leader, reestablish the dominance. God would be glorified in that. And now, instead of all that happening as we thought, instead the Messiah is put on a cross and he's crucified. So Paul says, what about this nation that crucified the Messiah? This hath God cast away his people is the question. And I'm here to tell you, Paul reminds us, this is not the first time that somebody asked this question. This is not the first time that somebody says, have you forgotten about me? This is not a new idea when all of a sudden we get to the point in our life where we go, hey, God, you remember me down here? Are you still there, God? I mean, right now, it's coming. I'm drinking from a fire hose. It doesn't seem like you're there. That's where Elijah was. That's where the Jews were wondering about what's going to become of them. Verse 2 says, God hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. Know ye not what the Scripture saith of Elijah, how he makes intercession against God. So here's Elijah, and he's really down. Now don't miss this, because this will help you. What happened last week in Elijah's life? What kind of experience? I say it's a mountaintop experience. You remember that? I mean, when you're calling fire down from heaven, isn't that kind of cool? I mean, that's like top of the game right there. You've been to the conference, and boy, life is good, and you're reinvigorated, and you're living for God, and things are going your way. Have you been there? Those are awesome days, aren't they? Those mountaintop experiences are great. Then, chapter 19, Lord, they've killed the prophets, and Lord, I'm the only one, and Lord, they're seeking my life. I'd say he's in a depression right now. He's in a valley. What's your point, preacher? It's very normal. It's very normal. Your spiritual life's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. You're going to go through valleys. You're going to go through tough times. You're going to have mountaintop experiences, and then after these mountaintop experiences, you're going to find yourself in a valley, and you're going to be saying, God, what happened? I promise you, our dear brother Ray Presley's in the hospital right now, and he's fighting for his life even as we are assembled, and his kidneys are failing, and his lungs are giving up, and his dear wife is begging God to deliver her husband from the hospital. I promise you, she's lifting up to God perpetual prayers. God, heal my husband. God, intervene. God, make the kidneys work. God, get him off the ventilator. God, pull him out. God, please. I promise you, we've been there. And folks, if God chooses for whatever reason to take our brother home to glory, she's going to struggle. She's going to struggle. She's going to say, hey, why do bad things happen to those who pray? God, he was faithful. God, Ray loved you. God, Ray loved the preaching of your. God, couldn't you give him a. She's going to go through some tough times. We're all going to go through some tough times. Here's Elijah, 1 Kings 19. He's running for his life. Jezebel's out to kill him. He's hiding in a cave. And in a cave, after that mountaintop experience in which he's seen God manifest himself in an incredible way, now all of a sudden he's hiding in a cave. Haven't you been there? Haven't you had God intervene in your life in an incredible way and confirm that he is real, and a week later you're in depression? Struggling. Yes, that's Elijah. And ultimately, Elijah's saying, can I trust God? That's ultimately what he's asking. Can I trust God to fulfill his promise? God made a promise to Abraham, said that we'd be a large nation, descendants as the number of sand of the seas, stars, huge number. And now all of a sudden, I'm the only guy. God, have you forgotten about us? God, have you forgotten about Israel? And the answer is no, Elijah. No, I haven't forgotten. In fact, Elijah, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee. What's the point? We don't know what God's doing. We don't know what God's doing. We don't know how he's intervening. We don't know why God takes one man home and answers prayer for another one. We don't know why two people can be praying, one spouse is delivered, the other one is called home. We don't know. We don't know how God works in this world. We don't know. Did Elijah have any idea that there were 7,000 other men who hadn't bowed the knee to Baal? He thought he was the only one. He really, and God said, wait a minute. Elijah, you're really kind of thinking small right now. You're in your own little world right now. You've forgotten about the big picture. Elijah, can I intervene right now and remind you, I've got 7,000 other men like you. Kind of a big God, wouldn't you say?